Trump and Biden faced the public with some pushback from moderators at competing town halls last night. I watched both of them. Anyway, they gave their takes on policy issues, conspiracy theories, and of course, the dreaded coronavirus. Watch.
You don't know if you took a test the day of the debate.
Possibly I did, possibly I didn't.
Will you demand that President Trump take a test that day and that it be negative before you debate?
Yeah, by the way, before I came up here, I took another test. I've been taking it every day. I'm less concerned about me, but then the people, the guys at the cameras, the people working in the Secret Service guys you drive up with, all those people.
Let me ask you about QAnon.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact. I hate to say that. I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard.
What's your view on the crime bill that you wrote in 1994, which showed prejudice against minorities?
Well, first of all, things have changed drastically.
Was it a mistake to support it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, there's so much there, but first off, let's start here. Do you believe that he doesn't remember if he was tested on the day of the debates, Anna?
Well, if he doesn't remember, then he's got, if he doesn't remember, then he's got dementia. Because let me tell you, as you all know, I've been exposed to COVID in the last few days. It's why I'm at home doing the show instead of at a studio. And when you've been exposed to COVID and when you test, you are counting down every day. You know that there's 14 days of quarantining. You know that you've tested this day. You retest this day. You are absolutely paranoid and just in the minutia of when did I test, when was I exposed, how many days. So if he doesn't remember, he's got bigger problems than COVID. He has got a memory problem, a selective memory problem, I would say.
Yes, I would think so. And also, I think that with QAnon, first he says he doesn't know who they are, and then he says, well, I think that they're worried about pedophilia. Well, if you don't know who they are, then how do you know that? I thought he gave a very nice dog whistle to QAnon. Sonny, what do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. It was remarkable that just the flip-flop lie that was so rapid fire like that. I don't know anything about them, but the little bit that I do know is that they are very strongly against pedophilia, and I agree with that piece of it. I actually thought that Savannah Guthrie did a pretty decent job of fact-checking him in real time. I think interviewing Trump is kind of like corralling a cat and a group of cats, and she was able to sort of handle it fairly well. He sort of showed that he is still very much the misogynist. I think at one point they went back and forth and he called her cute. It sort of had that earmark Megyn Kelly back in the day dynamic, which I found very uncomfortable and very unfortunate and misogynistic. But I thought she did better than I think people expected in terms of holding his feet to the fire as best she could.
Yeah, that's the old Trump, giving a woman a little bit of a compliment to endear her so that he can have his way with her, possibly, Now, aside from a few hiccups, Sarah, I heard that you actually think he did okay.
Well, let me
state your case, please.
I'm going to state my case. Let me be clear on this. If you are looking for substance in fact and policy and vision and plans, then Joe Biden totally won the night. But on the heels of the train wreck that was the last presidential debate, I don't think he did as bad as he could have done. We saw the same answers that are no longer shocking because they're recycled. They're not answers. They're non-answers. They're dodging. We saw all of the same moves he always gives. There wasn't anything that at the end of the night I fell off my chair going, he said what? Like there was no moment like that. One thing I did find interesting, though, was his body language in response to each voter. Whenever a voter got up that was for him, he all Sheryl Sandberg leaned in, was like, what do you have to say? And if it was someone that wasn't for him, he looked uncomfortable, inconvenienced, didn't want to hear what they had to say. So it kind of cemented that whole idea that Donald Trump is for anyone that is for Donald Trump. And if you ask the nodder over his shoulder, the bobblehead, he killed it. He did an amazing job. I was tired watching her.
Well, let's show people what you're talking about, because There, there were some surprise cameos from last night, like this, the human bobblehead over Trump's shoulder. There she goes. I mean, even Pence didn't nod that much when Trump spoke. What the heck? She was so distracting. Sonny, do you know her? Sonny, who is that woman?
Me, I know her.
I actually had to Google her. I had to Google her because I was like, who is that? Her name is Myra, right? Myra Jolie. And she actually went up to Trump afterwards. She's an immigration attorney. Yeah, she's an immigration attorney from the originally. An immigration attorney from the Dominican Republic originally. Anna, you know her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
She ran
debated
for
with
Congress,
her.
right?
So she's a character. Let's just say she's pretty colorful. But look, after the I think what Sarah just said is so interesting, because Trump has lowered the bar so much that even though he behaves like the Tasmanian devil on steroids and Red Bull, it's we are used to it. He won us down to his abnormality and just his unprecedented behavior. Where I don't know what he has to do to shock us at this moment, because we've all seen so much. And I think what Sarah's reaction is very very reflective of most of us in America who've seen crazy things from him. And then one of Trump's one of Trump's advisors said yesterday, compare Joe Biden to Mr. Rogers, as if that was a bad thing, right? So, I mean, to me,
How is that supposed to be? Oh, yeah.
Can I add
I saw
one
that,
thing,
Anna.
Joy? Let me
It's
add.
like, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
sure.
one
I had
thing
the
that was-
opposite reaction, though.
Let me
I
just
had
add
the
what-
opposite reaction to Sarah. I thought he looked like a menace. I thought he was out of his mind. I thought the fact that he's continued to spread misinformation when he said that 85%, I think he said 85% of people who wear masks still
Yes.
get COVID, after the fact that he got COVID and gave it to his family in the White House. I thought it was abhorrent.
But, Sonny,
I had
one
the
thing you're-
exact opposite reaction. I didn't think he did well at all.
It's not
Sarah.
about, by the way, it's not doing
Okay,
well.
Sarah, you have the
Sorry,
last word.
It's not doing well. It's that's what we didn't see anything new. That's what we always see. But in regard to the mask, one interesting thing is Donald Trump always associates the mask with the person getting it that's wearing the mask. Joe Biden had a very important moment where he said, hey, I get tested because of all these people I'm around. It is it's a metaphor for how they see the world. Donald Trump sees it about himself, and Joe Biden was saying, I see it about others.
Well, Sarah, the bar is so low. It's like the end of a limbo dance when you're practically on the ground.